Week 9 of the Clio Cup SoF League Season 4 of 2025. Welcome from the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, better known as Imola. Before we begin, little heads up, you might hear it in my voice. I am not 100% in terms of health, so I apologize for sounding a bit different. I try not to cough into your ears the entire time. You might hear a mute from time to time though. So whenever I get suddenly silent, just be sure I didn't want to cough into your ears. So what do we have in store for you this week? 64 drivers, so almost double from last week in Aragon, which means we get splits 3 and 4 back. That was one prime example of this. And if we take a look at the track itself, it's a well-known track. We drive the Grand Prix layout, the one you all know and love. 4,909 meters. I expect 8 laps across all 4 splits. It has been in the Clio Cup once, that was in Season 4 of 2023. Way back, the very first season of the Clio SoF. And Kevin Anfield won in front of Daniel Repetto and Jonathan Almeida. And yeah, if we talk about the track itself, what do we have to keep in mind? Number one, it's an off-track nightmare. It's so easy to gain those dangerous 1Xs, especially for qualifying. This could be a big deciding factor of getting a good starting grid position or not. Then of course the track itself. Let's take a look. I placed the first of the 3 arrows at the Variante Tamburello. Very dangerous, very well known. Then probably the most difficult spot for the Clio, the Aqua Minerale section, that double right-hander, first down the hill and then up the hill. We probably see a lot of action there. And then the Variante Alta chicane, also very easy to get, not only off tracks but also slowdowns. So yeah, this is Imola, and now we take a look at a demonstration lap to get a better feel for the track, and then we will be at the starting grid. But for now, let's take a look at the demo lap. And here we are inside one of our lovely Clios for the demonstration lap here. One lap around Imola. I mentioned one of the key factors is the very first passage, Tamburello. Here it comes, left. Don't get too far to the inside. Watch also for these big sausage thingies. Good exit to bring it down to the Variante Villeneuve, another chicane section added in the mid-90s for pretty well-known reasons. Down to Tosa, this is the hairpin to the left here. Up the hill, hug the inside, accelerate to the outside, but once again, watch out for those off tracks. It is so easy, one of the easiest tracks to get off track. Then another difficult section, Piratella. Looks quite easy, but don't underestimate this corner. And now we get down to the Aqua Minerale section. Down the hill, right number 1, right number 2, car gets really light. Up the hill, good exit, and then you get to the Variante Alta chicane. Easy to get slowdowns, easy to gain off tracks. Big curbs that can unbalance the car as well. We are almost done. We are now heading down to the double left-hand section known as Rivazza. Here it comes, downhill braking, always interesting. Double left-hander, take as much of the inside as you can, but not too much from the outside. Your outside gives you off tracks. And this is one lap around the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. And how qualifying went, we're gonna find out now. our starting grid from Freitasch down to Gibred. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go racing here in Imola. Let's go! Miguel Freitasch on pole, solid start. Raul Hernando, new livery. We have to get used to this. Let's see Tamburello for the first time. So far, so good. See Andy Oakley, P9. Right behind him, John Duncan and James Lazark Smith. Neil Rocks. This is for P12 against Xavier Herbeau. Okay, I thought for a moment they go 3 wide into Toza. Roman Perschke on the outside. Tries to get past at least one of those, maybe even 2. He gets 1. He gets 1. After not qualifying, we talked about it in the intro that this is a big factor here. So it is a uphill battle for the former champion. Meanwhile, Kevin Anfield and Cedric Gibbert fight for P15. Perschke, P13. Needs to get past Herbeau quite quickly. Similar story for James Lazark Smith in P11 behind John Duncan. Raul Hernando, P2, behind him Dylan Da Costa. And Zane Cueca in P4. So far, everything went pretty smooth. But this is just lap 1 out of 8, so you never know. Perschke. So far, no success in finding a way past Xavier Herbeau. John Duncan lost his position to James Lazark Smith. He's now in P11. Roman. Can he get it done now to Tamburello? Needs to take the outside. Xavier breaks later. And stays in front of him. Raul Hernando already a second behind Miguel Freitasch. So Dylan Da Costa needs to find a way past him in his new livery. Kevin Anfield, also different livery. This was the livery for the Mellons 24 hours for his team, which is why he drives it. Nice looking car. Anfield, Gibred, Rocks. Rocks lost a few positions. I wonder what happened there. Sadly, the incident counter once again did not work. Roman Perschke to the inside against Xavier Herbeau and gets past. He's now in P12. Still a long way. But for the moment, he is past. Who knows what is possible? Hernando still defending against the Costa. Remember, Raul Hernando is our current championship leader. And he will be affected by drop rounds after this race. More on that later. Cedric Gibbert, Anfield, P14. Andy Oakley, good exit there. Out of Rivazza too, maybe gives it an opportunity against Piotr Jegilewski. Nope. He was hoping to get a little bit of his nose there, but this was not the case, so he stays behind Piotr for the moment. This is for P7. 4.5 minutes into the race. We see John Duncan taking a completely different line to Roman Perschke, and judging by the entire thing, I think he had a slowdown. This looked like a slowdown to me. Andy Oakley, Carlos Rivera. This is for P8. And this as well looks like a slowdown for me. Have you seen how slow he was up the hill? Yeah, I talked about it. Slowdowns are a big factor here in Imola. And sadly, I mention it so often, the iRacing replay file does not save that data. Otherwise, it would be shown on screen. I have the ability to show it, but things that are not saved can't be replicated, which is a shame. It would make storytelling a little bit easier, understandable. Okay, why is this car suddenly slow? Why is he parking there in order to try to stay in front? All that wonderful stuff. Sometimes we have to guess, sometimes it's pretty clear too. Realize if there is a slowdown in place or not. Dylan Da Costa still behind Raul Hernando. But so far, clean race. Roman Preške, he has closed the gap to James Lazark Smith, is now right behind him. Two drivers you don't expect to fight for P10. But one did not qualify, and one had not the best qualifying. But it was also super tight in the midfield. Preške is past Lazark Smith, it seems. We have not seen it because the camera is focused on Dylan Da Costa. Also Bruno Gaiotto gets past Martin Dale. Cedric Gibrat against Xavier Herbeau. Good exit now down to Tosa. He's on the outside. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 wide almost.
Sorry, Bruno. Sorry.
You have not seen that? Have not seen that. Oh, this is spicy. This is spicy. Can they all behave? Andy Oakley lost positions as well. James Lazark Smith and Roman Preške. Oi, 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 oi. This is so tight right now. Martin Dale lost a few positions. Now still a decent 8th place, but he has James Lazark Smith and Roman Preške behind him. High caliber drivers. What we can see though is that Saint Quecca, that was Xavier Herbeau, tried something and as a result went into the gravel down at Rivazza. Lazark Smith, I want to say there was a gap forming between Costa and Saint Quecca, but he also has a big gap down to Carlos Rivera. James Lazark Smith to the inside, stays behind for the moment against Martin Dale. Piotr Jegilevsky, Bruno Gaiotto and Carlos Rivera. Dylan Da Costa is past Raul Hernando. Piotr Jegilevsky dives to the inside. Does he get the job done? Doesn't look like it. But still, good race from Piotr thus far. P7 would be an amazing result. Preške, P10, behind Lazark Smith. He was past him once, we have not seen either overtake. Preške, bit faster out of the Aqua Minerale section, but has to stay behind for Variante Alta. They take it nicely. Now down to Rivazza. What will the former champion do? Staying behind. That's the answer for now. It's a big train here in the midfield. I mean, the visual speaks for itself. And again, Perschke and Lazak Smith now to the inside. Tries to get a bit of car next to him. He does. Side by side into Tamburello. Looks good. We jump away to Piotr Jegilevsky. And there was contact between Roman and James. There was a bit of contact. Raul Hernando gets past Dylan Da Costa once again. Lazak Smith, he was in the grass there once again. At least we saw the aftermath. Bruno Gaiotto chasing Carlos Rivera. Oh, door rubbing John Duncan and James Lazak Smith. They touch again, and John Duncan loses a lot of positions as a result. They rubbed doors more than once, and that was the result. We'll have to take a look afterwards to see more. Carlos Rivera, that was super wide, maybe too wide. I talk about slowdowns. Let's focus on Carlos, and if he drops at least one position in the next 30 seconds, then we know the answer. Roman Perschke, P9, now behind Martin Dale. Also, James Lazak Smith lost a lot of positions as a result. He's down in P13 now. Roman Perschke. I talked about he tries to get his nose in. He can get more than his nose in. He is side by side. Can he repeat it against Martin Dale? He fights. Martin Dale is fighting. But Roman Perschke has the better line now. John Duncan and Xavier Herbeau, another touch. And Duncan is last. Oh, 3 car action down to Tosa. Gaiotto, Jegilevsky and Carlos Rivera. They've been fighting the entire race, it seems. And still, Perschke and Dale is not over. It is still not over. I mean, he has the better line. Now we also focus on Enfield and Gibbert. They have been fighting the entire race as well. Oh, so many things to look at. Rivera, Gaiotto. Did Gaiotto get an overtake done on the outside of the Aqua Minerale? Wow! Bruno Gaiotto in his final SoF race this season. He told me because work related he won't be anywhere near his home. On a different continent, in fact. So we will be missing Bruno Gaiotto for the rest of the season and probably the early stages of next season as well. But a P5 would be a good send-off for this season. Roman Perschke tries to get past Carlos Rivera. Oh, it's super tight. Martin Dale, Piotr Jegilevsky. Everything is so tight around here. Final lap of the race. It's so hard to focus on one specific thing. Lazak Smith, Gibbert, Enfield. Dylan da Costa still stuck behind Raul Hernando, who made a mistake, or was there a bit of a touch? I'm not sure about it. I am not sure if there was a touch or if it was a mistake. Either way, oh, it's getting spicy here. Piotr Jegilevsky losing a lot of positions. What a shame. Kevin Anfield in the pits. What happened there? It got spicy. We have to take a look at a lot of things, it seems. Meanwhile, Miguel Freitas dominating. 5 seconds. Flying over the Variante Alta. Dylan da Costa, P2. Championship leader Raul Hernando, P3. Is this enough to defend the championship lead? We're gonna find out very, very shortly. Either way, Freitas almost done. Just Rivazza 2. And this is another win for the reigning and defending Clio SoF champion. Congratulations. Dylan da Costa will get P2. Raul Hernando P3. And Zane Quecker P4. Watch out for this young gentleman. Watch out for him in the future. Super fast. Bruno Gaiotto P5 to end his season. Carlos Rivera, Roman Perschke almost side by side. Rivera stays in P6. But P7 is a good comeback drive from, I think it was P14. These are the results. We will jump right to the standings. And I need to give my voice a bit of a break. It's about to die. So let's take a look. We are back at ClioSoF.com and now let's take a look at the standings. Raul Hernando is still leading the championship, but as you can see with the race count, he is the first one out of the top 4 affected by a drop round. So Miguel Freitas, Dylan da Costa and Roman Perschke have one race in hand, so to speak. And if we take a look, Miguel Freitas, he has won 5 races this season. This is very hard to beat. If we take a look at the new legacy view, scroll down a little bit, yeah, you can see it. I mean, Raul has one quote-unquote bad result that he killed off, that is the Cadwell result, and now he has to finish better than P5 to gain any more points in the remaining races, which is pretty difficult, especially if we take a look at Miguel's results. For example, he has one race where he can gain points no matter the result because he has 7, but then 9 and 8 for Miguel Freitas, these are low results, so the chances to get back the lead next week, as long as he drives next week of course, are pretty high. Similar thing for Dylan da Costa, who basically has 2 races in hand, because that P91 in Oulton Park was, yeah, there were technical issues, he didn't actually start the race, it's counted still. Nevertheless, have a look for these 2. And if we take a look at the split 1 standings, similar thing for the top. Can we get the top 50? Let's do it like this. Yeah, similar story. Of course, split 1 championship is always the closest to the actual championship, the overall standing, so no big shocks here. How many drivers did we have in top split this season thus far? 53. So yeah, that was split 1. We will now take a look at a few highlights. Tomorrow, split 2. I hope my voice is better by then. I try to survive, but I know it's almost gone, so I'll cut it right here. Enjoy the highlights. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.